Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to the video of English Grammar Special Edition on Passive Voice. This is video 1 of 2. In this video, within this lesson, you are going to study how to compose passive sentence, changing from active into passive. We are going to show you what you will learn in this video. In this lesson, through this video, you will learn what passive voice is, basic compositions of passive voice, how to make passive sentences from the 16 English tenses. As you can see, or as you may know, there are 16 tenses in English, and we can change the 16 English tenses into passive voice from the active one. But first, you may need to know what is passive voice. What is passive voice? Passive voice, or a passive sentence, is a sentence in which the subject of the sentence is the object of the verb. Active sentence can be changed to passive only when it uses a transitive verb. Transitive verb is a verb that requires an object. To get you clear understanding about transitive verb, let's see the next page that explains the difference between transitive and intransitive verb. Intransitive verb, the verb that does not require an object, and transitive verb is a verb that requires an object. Let's see the example. I sleep. The word sleep, the verb sleep does not require an object. You don't need to put anything here. You cannot say I sleep something. No, you cannot. So sleep is intransitive, and that's why it cannot be changed to passive. Transitive verbs, on the other way, requires an object. For example, I write a book. The verb write requires an object. What do you write? What are you writing? And the object is a book, and that's why it can be changed to passive. Next, before we actually start making passive sentences from 16 English tenses, we need to first study the basic composition of passive sentence. The basic composition of a passive sentence is be and then followed by past participle or verb 3. There are many kinds of be. There is be, the base form, and then the present is am, are, and then the past was, were, and the past participle been. Be can change to many kind of forms depending on the subject. And here, I'll emphasize again that the basic composition for creating passive sentence is that it requires the combination between be, whatever the be, it may be is, it may be am, it may be are, and so on, plus past participle verb or verb 3. Alright, let's see how it goes with 16 English tenses. We are going to see how we change 16 English tenses in active sentence, but we are going to change it into passive. Before we change that into passive, I think it is better for us to refresh our knowledge about 16 English tenses. The 16 English tenses are actually divided into four sections: the present, the past, the future, and the past future. In every section of the time, there are subsections, that is the simple, continuous, perfect, and then perfect continuous. Look, every part-time has the same combination: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. Simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. The same thing, but different time. In this video, we are not going to study about how to use the 16 English tenses, and we are not going to study about how to compose the sentences in English 16 English tenses. This is only our guide or to remind us about the sentences that we are going to change into passive. Let's begin with number 1, present simple. So this is the example of active sentence in present simple. I'm going to use the same sentence, the same verb, and the same object, that is write and a book, so that later you can make comparison. Present simple, we have a sentence, I write a book. And here, what we need to do is to change the object, a book, into the subject. So a book comes in the beginning of the sentence like this, a book, and then followed by be and verb 3. So be here, the be is because the subject is a book, which is a third party singular. And then we change the word write into the past participle or verb 3 of write, that is written. So the combination, as I explained before, that the composition of a passive voice is be and verb 3, and that's why here sentence becomes a book is written by me. So by me is not necessary. You can put by me, or you just ignore it, or just omit it without mentioning by me. So it can be just a book is written. Alright, so this is the basic composition in present simple. How about in present continuous? Let's see. The present continuous is I am writing a book. So there's a difference, right? In the present simple, it's just the using verb 1. I write a book, present verb. In the continuous, it is the combination between be and ing verb. I am writing a book. Now we change it to passive. So the word a book is transferred into the beginning of the sentence to be a subject, and then followed by the passive, that is be and verb 3. Now the be is because a book is third party singular, and then writing here because we need verb 3 or past participle, so we change it into written. But we need additional word being right here in the middle to represent that this is in continuous or in progress. So we extract the ing here to be right here, is being written. Is being written, the word being is to emphasize that this is continuous. Alright, so this is the passive form of the present continuous sentence. From I am writing a book becomes a book is being written by me. Let's see the next tense, that is present perfect. The combination of present perfect is using have or has. and then followed by verb 3 or past participle written. So I have written a book. Now we are going to change it into passive. So the word a book, the object a book, transferred into the subject here in the beginning of the sentence, a book, and then followed by the auxiliary have becomes has. Why becomes has? Because the subject is a book, which is a third party singular, so it becomes has. In the first sentence, it is have because the subject is I. While the second sentence, the subject is a book, and that's why it is has. And then the combination of passive, that is be and verb 3. So here we have been and written. So why do we use been? This is because the be comes after has, where there's a rule that if there's a be or a verb that comes after has or have or had, the verb must be in past participle or verb 3. And that's why we here do not use is, am, are, was, were, but we use been, verb 3 or past participle. And that's why we have a book has been written by me. Now let's take a look at the combination between perfect and continuous. Now we have present, perfect, continuous. The sentence is, I have been writing a book. The difference is that in the present perfect, there is no indication of progressive. There's no ing. While in the present perfect continuous, there is continuous and there is ing right here to indicate the continuous. So I have been writing a book. To convert that into passive, the same thing, the object a book is transferred to be a subject right here and then followed by the auxiliary has. Auxiliary has is from the have. Now because this is third party singular. And then next, the combination here, been is the be and then verb 3 is written to make the passive. But what we need is not only passive, but there is another thing that is continuous. So we put the word being. Oh my god. I put too many E right here. So it should be only one. So being written by me. Okay. So that's what we are studying in this video on the lessons of passive voice. We are going to continue to the next video, that is video 2, to continue our discussion on how to change 16 English tenses into passive. Next, we will start with past, simple past, and then we continue to future and then future perfect. All right, so see you again on the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.